Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Shah. Today, I am covering up the topic called Cryptography and Cyber Security, which is there in MCOM E-Commerce Part 2, that is in Semester 4 of Unit 2. And the subject's name is Legal and Other Legislation, which is there in Bombay University's course. Students, in this particular video, I would be explaining about the cryptography and the cyber security. Introducing this particular topic, that is called cyber security and cryptography. Network security deals with the problems of legitimate message being captured and replayed. What do you mean by this one? That means the message which has been received, which should be it should be legitimate, it should be legal, it should be as per the law, and should be captured and should be replayed in as it is formed. Any change in addition, deletion or modification of that message would be putting that particular person in the problem if you change that particular message, whether it is a message through email or through e-contracts. Network security is the effort to create a secure computing platform. That means the security of that particular program or the particular the message should be properly secured. It should be as per IT Act 2005. The action in the question can be reduced to operation of access, modification, deletion. So whatever the message has been received from one end, it should not be changed, altered or modified. It should be transmitted as it is. Many people pay great amount of lip service to the security but do not want to be bothered it when it gets in their way. As you are aware, in the last lecture of mine, I told you about what are the problems related to the cyber securities as well as the problem related to the e-commerce or the e-contracts. Coming to the next particular slide, that is cryptography. Cryptography is the science of using the mathematics to encrypt and decrypt the data. So whatever the message has been sent from the sender to the receiver should be encrypted and decrypted so that there should not be change of that particular message. Cryptography enables you to store the sensitive information or transmit it across in the insecure networks like the internet. So if there are some persons who are just chasing, or if there are cyber attackers or some people who change that particular message, if it has been transferred from one person to other person, so to be secured, the cryptography method, the science related to mathematics of cryptography is being used. So it can be read by anyone except the intended recipient, so that whatever the message has been sent, after sending the public key or the private key, he can read it properly. While the cryptography is a science of securing the data. What do you mean by securing the data? The data which has been kept into the e-contract or the e-agreement or the programs should be as it is, so that the person who receives from the sender should get the things as it is without any modification, addition or deletion. And crypto analysts are called as attackers. So these are people who change that particular the message content so that the receiver feels that the message is been sent by the sender in that form, but the cyber attackers change that particular form. Cryptology embraces both cryptography and crypto analysis. So what is cryptology? It means both cryptography and crypto analysis. Coming to the types of cryptography, symmetric key cryptography. What do you mean by symmetric key cryptography? It is an encryption system where the sender and the receiver of the message use a single common key to encrypt and decrypt the message. The most popular symmetric key of cryptography system is data encryption system, which is called as DES. So they are using only one particular message or one particular common key to encrypt and decrypt the messages. So if you have that one particular key, there would be chances that the messages can be changed or modified. Next is the next type of cryptography is hash function, where there is no usage of any key in this algorithm. A hash value or the fixed length is calculated as per the plain text, which makes it impossible for the content of the plain text to be recovered. Many operating systems use hash function to encrypt the password. So this is also one type of the cryptography where it is used with the hash function. Next type of cryptography is asymmetric cryptography. Under this system, a pair of keys is used to encrypt and decrypt the information. So what is the main difference between the first one, the first particular type, that is symmetric key cryptography? There is one single common key, and if you see this one, asymmetric key cryptography, where a pair of keys, here is the main difference. The pair of keys is used to encrypt and decrypt the information. A public key is used for encryption and a private key is used for decryption. So during the encryption, a public key is been sent by the sender to the receiver, and the receiver will be using the private key to decode that message. So asymmetric key cryptography is most beneficial for, so that there won't be any modification, alteration or deletion of the data. Public key and private key are different. So for every message, for every mail, every contract, there would be a pair of public key and a private key. Even if the public key is known by everyone, the intended receiver can only decode if it has only knows that particular pair of the private key. So for one particular type of message, there would be one private key and one public key. But if the private key, if he has only one, and if it is not with the matching with the private key, then he cannot decode that particular message. So asymmetric key cryptography is more beneficial type of cryptography to protect that particular data. Coming to the benefits, confidentially, the reports, the message, the data has to be kept confidential, hence cryptography is being used. Asymmetric key cryptography is the best one. Encryption technique can be guard the information and communication from the unauthorized revelation and access of the information. Authentication means the cryptographic techniques such as MAC and the digital signature can protect the information against spoofing and forgeries. So authentication of the data would be more necessary if they have the public key and the private key. And data integrity, that means the data means which has been sent from the sender to the receiver is in that form without any changes. The cryptographic hash functions are playing a vital role in assuring the users about the data integrity. Non-repudiation means the digital signature provides a non-repudiation service to guard against the dispute that may arise due to denial of passing the message by the sender. So that means the contract cannot be cancelled from one part if it has been signed from the buyer to the sender. Coming to the drawbacks, here in this particular slide I had informed you about the benefit, that is confidentiality, authentication, data integrity and non-repudiation. Whereas coming to the drawbacks, the network or the computer system can be attacked and rendered non-functional by the intruder if he sends much more amount of viruses, or if he sends the attacking worms or any programs that will damage that particular data. That would be the drawbacks. The high availability of one of the fundamental aspects of the information security can be ensured through the use of cryptography. Many people are aware with this knowledge, so they can also try with different functions and even our algorithms. They can also break that particular system of the private key and the public key. Other matters are need to be protected against the threats such as denial of the service or a complete breakdown of the information of the system. Another fundamental need of information security of the selective access control also can be realized through the use of cryptography. Administrative controls and the procedure required to be accessed for this time. So these are the basic drawbacks. Anyone can crack down the messages. Coming to the future of the cryptography, what would be the future of the cryptography? The other form is elliptic cryptography are already been invented, but the advantages and disadvantages are not fully understood. Elliptic curve cryptography allows the perform encryption and decryption in a drastically lesser time, thus allowing higher amount of data to be passed with equal security. So the future of the elliptic curve cryptography is much more better. And the quantum computation is the new phenomena where while the modern computer stores the data using the binary function of the 0 and 1 technique, the computer program stores the data using the quantum superposition of the multiple states. Cryptography, concluding part of that, network security is a very difficult topic. Everyone has a different idea of what is meant by security and what is the level of the risks and acceptable. The key for the building of the secure network is to define what security means to our organization. So students, in this particular video, I had explained you the types of cryptography and what you mean by the cryptography, which is there in MCOM e-commerce unit 4, the unit 2 of the MCOM semester 4. Thank you from my side.